Hey, welcome back. Second part of your brand essence is your brand vision. Now, before I get into the brand vision, I think I have to explain what the difference is between your brand vision and your brand mission. It's actually something I struggled with myself as a strategist for a while before brand master Stephen Horahan made it perfectly clear for me. And this is the definition I'm going to share with you right now, and that we're using, when we're working with our clients and when we're creating vision and mission statements. Mission and vision have become somewhat intertwined, and even some of the biggest brands are mixing them up. Some of them calling their mission statements their vision statements, and some of them only have one, which is perfectly fine too, as long as it's clear. The difference between mission and vision is that your brand mission is the now, and your brand vision is the future. So while mission is the everyday, the vision is the someday. Mission is the commitment, what we're committed to doing every single day. And the vision is the ambition, what we aspire to. Like all parts of your brand essence, your vision is internal first. Many brands these days choose to communicate their vision and their mission statements on their websites or, on their collateral or social media. And it's perfectly okay if you want to do this, but they need to be more than just words on a website. That's what that's how most people use them, right? They just write it up and then they put it on their website and that's it. That's not what it's for. Your vision should have substance, and it should be based on genuine ambitions, not just something that sounds good that you make up. When we talk about your brand vision, we're looking 5 to 10 years into the future. Where do you see yourself? What does your brand look like? What does the market look like? And how do you fit into that market? Your brand vision answers the question, where does our brand aspire to go? What does it aspire to be? And or what impact does it aspire to have? It's a projection, right? What does it look like in the future? Or what does the environment look like in which it operates? Steve Jobs said, if you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. I really love this quote because it describes perfectly what having a vision is all about. Nobody has to force you to work on it, right? It's something that pulls you because you're excited about. It's a way. So having a vision for your business is a way to motivate yourself, and it's a way to motivate your team because you're showing them that they're part of something bigger, that they're working on a bigger goal in the future, that the work they're doing is not just about the daily grind. When projecting your brand into the future, you want to be as ambitious as possible. You want to inspire and you want to instill belief as to where your brand is headed. Just like an audacious personal goal, your brand vision should be big and bold and scary. Scary in the sense that, it's not easy to achieve, and you're kind of scared of achieving it because you're not really sure if you can handle the responsibility that would come with the achievement of that vision. Your brand vision can be very motivating, especially if you refer to it often, during monthly team meetings, for example, or, when you're addressing quarterly targets. So it's definitely something I would recommend doing and reminding your team members often, just like your brand purpose, reminding them why they're doing something and why you care about it and why you think they should care about it. Reminding them of where you're going, the bigger picture is also really important. The right vision influences decision and inspires action. But being believable is key here. Your vision should be intimidating, but achievable. So let's take a look at some vision statements that I found, to get you inspired. I have 3 examples here, and I want you to take a minute and guess what national brand could be behind each of these statements. Number one, we believe that healthy living is a human right, and we aspire to make wellness accessible to all, not just a few. Personally, I really like this one. I feel inspired, and it makes me want to get behind the brand, and I would take up their cause as my own. I want to, I think wellness should be accessible to all, right? I think healthy living should be a human right. I totally agree with this statement. It's something that I can get behind. Number two, to help people see better, connect better, live better. Now, this is a very short and concise statement, but personally for me, I think, um, a vision statement is supposed to inspire people. And this doesn't feel very inspirational. I feel like, personally, I think it needs something else. Leads maybe a little more of an explanation of what they mean, by connecting better. Like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Um, so it's a little bit too dry for me. And number three, to be the experimental brand that ignites a community of people living the sweat life. Now, I can see that being inspiring, if you're the kind of person that is into community or living the sweat life. So it also has a little bit of a audience description in there. So, what do you think? Who could those national brands be that have these brand visions? So, I invite you to pause the video for a minute and think about it. And I want you to also think about how those statements make you feel. Do they excite you? Is that a vision you want to get behind? How do you feel about this one sentence? Um, you know, and what that means for a brand. Just imagine yourself being an employee, for example, because remember, this is internal. So this is who this is written for. So pause the video for a minute and just, some idea. I mean, even if you just get the general um, brand direction, that would be interesting. So I'm going to reveal that in the next slide, but I want you to pause and think about it for a second. Okay, here are the three brands. We got Weight Watchers, Johnson Johnson, and Lululemon. Do you think their vision fits with their brand? As you can see, it's not easy to get everything into one sentence. I honestly don't think it's necessary to condense it that much. Like, why would we want to condense it that much even? Because it's not just a sentence, that needs to go on your website. To have it that concise, only makes sense if you run out of space. But we want to inspire people, and for them to be inspired, they have to understand what it's about. Right? So if you can condense it, you want to condense it as much as you can, but still be clear about it. Being able to explain it to people. So you want your team members to be able to remember it. So if you have pages and pages of brand vision, they won't be able to recall it, and it's going to be hard to be inspired by it. But don't condense it too much so it's not clear anymore what the actual vision is. And it could be any brand that has that vision. Remember, this is an internal tool to help you inspire your team members and yourself when you're in a slump. And it's also a tool to help you make business decisions, right? I talked about this before. So when you're choosing the next marketing tool or program, ask yourself, does this get me closer to my vision, or does it get me there faster? And to be able to answer that, you have to be clear on where you want to go. So in your brand vision workbook, I walk you through a series of questions to help you define that brand vision. You can find it right below this video. And I also included a cheat sheet with characteristics of a great brand vision for you.